Trump is pushing hard on the filibuster, so we will stay on the filibuster. It's very rare that I handle the same topic twice in one day. 2 episodes back to back. Think of this as part 2 to the last one. Trump is seriously, basically, he's going to be a lame duck president if we don't get the filibuster overturned. So he's pushing it hard. We have to pressure the Democrats, Jonathan and everybody, to get on board, because if you don't end the filibuster, you're screwed. Our country is screwed. Here's Trump with the media.
Is there any room for bipartisanship? Because it seems like that's the main purpose of the filibuster, is to create some sort of compromise. So
well, it didn't work, obviously.
So
you're right. That was the purpose of the filibuster, bipartisanship, but that didn't work.
So are you saying the next 3 years in Washington there shouldn't be?
Well, no. If the filibuster is terminated, we will have the most productive 3 years in the history of our country. If the filibuster is not terminated, then we will be in a slog with the Democrats, and very little for either party will be done.
So he can't enshrine any of his stuff into law. Effectively, he'll be a lame duck president. So just to get our 4 years out of Trump, we have to end the filibuster.
None of us want to get rid of the filibuster, but the Democrats are going to do it as soon as they're back in charge. So we might as well do it now. My response to the president this morning, after listening politely, was, well, the quickest way, the best way to prevent all that is let's don't put the Democrats back in charge. There's no guarantee the Democrats are going to take over the Senate in the midterm election or even after that. The filibuster only pertains to the Senate. It doesn't pertain to the House. So to keep the Democrats from doing that, we just hold the Senate, which we're planning on doing.
Next up, a word from our sponsor chapter. I'm excited to tell you guys this because Medicare annual enrollment is right now. And I don't blame you for being confused about how to sign up, or even if you're currently got the best plan. I'm a simple artist and I think very simply, and Medicare is very confusing. You ever go to that government site for sign up on Medicare? It is like a labyrinth. So you need help navigating it with someone I trust. I just told my mom the other day, call Chapter, because we have a family guy that helps her with her medical coverage. And I said, please call Chapter. You can trust them. I told my own mom that. So I'm proud to have you called. This is for my Doug in Exile audience only. If you're having a hard time, if the lines are too long when you call in, call early in the morning or over the weekend. But call my sponsor Chapter at 631-961-8696. Chapter compares thousands of Medicare plans, and everyone who has called has told me they either save them money. Just 2 days ago, someone told me they saved $2,100 a year. That is because they listened to my show and called in. It's like me giving them $2,100. They'll either help you save money, get better coverage for the same amount of money, or they'll tell you have the right one. Then you have that peace of mind so you can sleep going, I got the best plan, and I know I've got the best plan because experts at Chapter told me. It's not magic. That number doesn't dial itself. It's the first pinned phone number there, the first pinned comment, and it's in the description. Call my friends, 631-961-8696. That's Chapter, linked below. Tell them Doug in Exile sent you. 631-961-8696. Call Chapter. Here are the things that Trump says he'll be able to overturn if they terminate the filibuster. No mail-in voting, no cash bail, no men and women's sports, no welfare for illegals. The list could go on and on. Now, listen to me. We've been saying we want voter ID. You're not going to get voter ID with this narrow of a majority. Democrats will take the Senate before we get voter ID. That is, the next election will come unless you overturn the Senate. Overturn the filibuster. You will have mail-in ballots. You can end mail-in ballots if you overturn. So all this stuff is going to get jacked if the Republicans don't get to it. Here's Eric Holder. Look at this guy. They're going to pack the Supreme Court, guys, if they win.
No, the point that you make there is an extremely important one. The courts have generally held. If you look at what's happening at the district court level, at the Court of Appeals level, doesn't matter who the president was who appointed the judge. The judges have ruled, I think, courageously and correctly. It's only when you get to the Supreme Court that you see these problems start to arise, and it's the use of this overuse of the shadow docket. By taking these cases and essentially deciding them without hearing any oral argument, without any adequate briefing, deciding these really important matters in that way challenges the legitimacy of the court and does an untold amount of damage to the legal fabric of this nation. I think, the reality is, and it pains me to say this, I think the Supreme Court is a broken institution.
That's Obama's hatchet, man. It's broken. How are you going to fix it? They're going to add 4 justices.
And it's something that has to be, I think, a part of the national conversation in 26 and in 28. What are we going to do about the Supreme Court? And I think that we have to think about, again, talking about the acquisition and the use of power. If there is a Democratic trifecta in 2028, and I think the possibility of that is pretty good.
President, House, Senate. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. It's code speak. More on the filibuster. Here's Trump.
Republicans, regardless of the Schumer shutdown, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster the first chance they get. They will pack the Supreme Court of the United States, pick up 2 states, that's a lot of states, and add at least 8 electoral votes. Their 2 objectors are gone. Remember, Sinema and Manchin, they're gone. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid, Republicans. Fight, fight, fight. Win, win, win. We will immediately end the extortionist shutdown, get all of our agenda passed.
I think that should be just up. Republicans should say, we're not going to open the government unless we nuke the filibuster. How about that? You might even get some Democrats to support it. Then we'll open the government. That's Trump. He is pushing this hard all day. And he got initial pushback the last couple of days, and he is not backing down. He's going to make this an issue, and he's going to start attacking Republicans hardcore. So we're going to start naming their names. I'm looking at the normies too, Chuck Grassley and Tom Cotton. We need your leadership on this.
And make life so good for Americans that these deranged Democrat politicians will never again have the chance to destroy America. They tried to destroy your country. Republicans, you will rue the day that you didn't terminate the filibuster.
That is a near prophecy. You can write that down. Republicans, you will rue the day that you do not nuke the filibuster. That's a warning. It's going to be a giant told you so as the nation just burns and is done. Of course, we're the happy patriots. We'll still be fighting, last man standing, with a smile on my face and a song on my heart to God and a love of country. But the Democrats are going to absolutely ruin this place. And if John Thune thinks he's going to have any traction after the Democrats nuke the filibuster and have a simple majority, Republicans may not be in power for a long time until America has some pretty serious Jimmy Carter 3.0, because we already had Joe Biden, Jimmy Carter 2.0.
Be tough, be smart, and win. This is much bigger than the shutdown. This is the survival of our country. Terminate the filibuster and let's live the great life that this country is capable of living.
Yeah, he's pushing it hard. That's why we're staying on it, guys. We're doing Nuke the Filibuster. Tweet, email, call your representatives. Tell them, John Thune, be nice on the phone. You can look him up on Google, give him a call. Bannon has a darker thing. Steve Bannon says Thune is ending the Trump presidency. Thune says ending the filibuster is not happening despite Trump's demands. And Steve Bannon says Thune is ending the Trump's presidency. Here's Russ Vought, who we love. OMB Director Russ Vought says it's time to terminate the filibuster and start passing President Trump's entire agenda with a simple majority. See, all of Trump's presidential orders go away. Nothing's permanent if they do not pass his agenda. Russ Vought is on the ball and on topic. Correct. Charlie Kirk, by the way, was the first guy to tell me about Russ Vought. He was a huge fan of Russ Vought and said he was amazing. Here's the White House. If Republicans kill the filibuster, this is from the White House, they sail to victory for many years to come. If they don't, disaster waiting to happen. All this is secured forever on Twitter. I'm going to send this stuff to Tom Cotton and John Thune and Chuck Grassley forever. If Republicans kill the filibuster, they sail to victory for many years to come. If they don't, they get disaster. Here's Chip Roy. I love quoting, this is Bo Snerdley. He used to be the producer for Rush Limbaugh show. So I like quoting him because I'm a huge fan of Rush Limbaugh. Chip Roy, Republicans face a bloodbath in midterms if they undermine Trump. That's a warning to Thomas Massey, Rand Paul. Here's Hugh Hewitt, who I normally respect, but he's against ending the filibuster. So, to Leader John Thune has scheduled a vote Friday today on a House-passed government funding measure with the intention of amending it to add the compromise proposal that Republicans and Democrat centrists hashed out in recent days. The vote is expected to fail. Yeah, dude, where you guys been? Everything is going to fail. Still no despair. Now, here's Hugh Hewitt. One of the rare times I disagree with him. Man, he is a Beltway Republican, a borderline rhino. He's playing last year's game. He still believes the Constitution's going to stick after 2026 when the Democrats completely rewrite the thing. They're going to rewrite it and have it be hip-hop lyrics and just take a picture, they're going to do an etching of a giant dog do. And just put it on there. Go, this is the new Constitution. We ratified it when we ended the filibuster. And Hugh Hewitt's going to go, no, we remember the old Constitution. Remember when the Supreme Court had 9 judges? And remember when we were only 50 states? They're telling you what they're going to do, Hugh Hewitt. The Republican senators should not panic and blow up the filibuster or give in to these ridiculous demands. No, wrong message, wrong method. It's not going to work. Here's Speaker Mike Johnson.
In next year's midterms. The third reason is we got a very favorable map. You shouldn't miss this either. I was very bullish even before the current redistricting battles began.
He's warning that Republicans are going to redistrict too. We should already be halfway. Everyone should be launching redistricting in a red state.
As we sit here today, there are 13 House Democrats sitting in districts that President Trump won. There's another 21 of them in districts he came within 5 points of winning. There's only 3, conversely, there's only 3 House Republicans sitting in districts that Kamala Harris won. That's a lopsided map. And after redistricting, we think we'll net a few more seats.
Then let's go.
Maybe 6 to 8.
How fast?
We're in very good position to make history and grow this majority.
Good. Run.
And finally, in next year's...
So why are you talking right now, Mike? I'm a huge fan of Mike Johnson. But man, let's go. Last statement on the filibuster.
Everyone's going to benefit from it.
The president posted today about ending the filibuster. That seems to be his solution for ending the shutdown, just to get rid of the filibuster. He wrote, quote, the Democrats will terminate the filibuster in the first hour if and when they assume control or power. Republicans have what the Democrats want. We should do it now and have the greatest 3 years in history. Would you support getting rid of the filibuster?
Look, every day that this shutdown goes on longer, I start leaning that direction. Instead, what I'm going to start pushing for is making the filibuster a constitutional amendment. And if we can get Democrats to support that, that's going to reassure me that they're not going to go nuclear on us next time.
He wants to secure the filibuster forever. Wrong tactic. Wrong tactic. Man, our party does not know how to fight. They don't know how late it is in the game. And they're going to sleepwalk as the Trump agenda. He's just trying to stay out of jail at this point. And I agree. Guys, number one, this doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to make a phone call. Pray for the country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for the Congress. Pray that the evil Democrats would be caught in their own trap, that they would fail, that the Marxist agenda would fail. That doesn't cost you anything. I'm not asking you. If I'm going to ask you to do anything, I'm going to ask you to call chapter. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Doug in Exile and the Filibuster.